Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Bad Boys 1. So, this movie stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Currently, Bad Boys 4 is in theaters, and this is the movie that started the whole franchise. And you know what? This movie was made for only $19 million, and it made $141 million. That's almost 10 times its budget back. So you can imagine why they would make sequels. That being said, while I do enjoy the Bad Boys series as a whole, this one frustrates the hell out of me. It starts a bunch of the running gags that we see in the subsequent movies, and it has a lot of good parts to it. But the general storyline is annoying as fuck, because the whole premise of this stupid fucking movie is that Tia Leone's character, who I like her, mostly know her from this movie and Family Man, but her character plays the friend of a prostitute. And her friend is like, hey, come with me on this thing, I'll make a bunch of money, this dude will pass out before we have to do anything. She's like, cool, I'll go. Then she gets fucking murdered, and she witnesses it, and then she's like, well, my friend, who is murdered, told me about this cop friend of hers called Mike Lowry, and he's the only one that I'm going to talk to. And Mike Lowry is unavailable at the exact moment that she calls. So Martin Lawrence has to pretend to be her, or be him, and so, like, 80% of this fucking movie's stupid shit is, I'm sorry, comedy moments, is because they just keep going down the path of Martin Lawrence, a family man, is trying to pretend to be Will Smith, a, like, trust fund baby, single, like, I mean, it's fucking Will Smith, who, prime of his life, like, who wouldn't want to be with him? I'm just saying. So, it's so dumb, because it's not at all believable. You would take 5 seconds, get her, like, force her to protective custody, and then just be like, hey, by the way, or even if you're not going to force her to protective custody, as soon as Mike Lowry gets here, you're like, hey, sorry I had to lie to you, but you were only willing to speak with Mike Lowry and we couldn't find him. I'm his best friend. Here he is. You notice all his pictures in the apartment. Like, this is him. You are still safe. You were safe with me. You're safe with him. We're going to keep this circle of people that know about you real small. Let's go and get whatever fucking testimony we need from. Boom. Stupid shit over with. Like, you could have it be a funny bit for like 5 minutes where he's like, oh yeah, where's my light switch? Even though every normal person in the world that comes into a room aims for like the nearest wall, but sure, I walk into the middle of the room looking for a light switch. Sure, you can have a couple of funny bits, and then it's done, it's over, now you're moving on, and it's about like keeping her from the bad guys. But nope, it's like 80% of the movie after that. It's just, oh, I know that part being the plot is annoying, but the interactions between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and yeah, Tia Leone, I like her, and she is good in this movie for, her character, just plotline. But, so it is an enjoyable movie. And I gotta tell you, so this movie came out in 1995 for a budget of $19 million. I haven't done the inflation calculation there, but this movie does not feel like a $19 million movie. I would be perfectly happy watching this movie today as a badass action movie, because they are just very creative with how they cut around things, so that unless you're really, really looking for it, and I guess maybe now that I've told you the budget, maybe you will be looking for it, but unless you're really looking for it, you won't realize that they're doing things to shave off budgetary things while still giving you an action-packed, awesome movie. Because it is action-packed and it's awesome with comedy that it goes too far. It goes way too far. But I still enjoy it, and like I said, a bunch of the pieces that are still used in future movies and called back to and whatnot start in this one. So I do think this is probably the most skippable one of the three before the fourth one. I still think you should watch all three before the fourth one. But it is the one that started it all, so you kind of can't miss it, especially with the amazing things that they were able to do with this budget. And I can definitely see why they continue on, because Will Smith is amazing as always in his movies. I don't care about the slap in terms of his movies. His movies are excellent. And Martin Lawrence has excellent comedic timing. like just constantly. So, and I also like the other fellow cops that they joke around with, and so yeah, that was those guys were fun and funny bits. So yeah, I would say definitely to go see this movie, or I guess not go see it so much as find a streaming service that you like and watch it, or if you can find a place that still sells Blu-rays or DVDs, buy it there and watch it, because it is a fun time, and the payoffs for things in later movies is just excellent. So yeah, 2 thumbs up, do recommend, and Michael Bay is a Michael Bay in this movie. Lots of explosions, music, epic slow-mo things. He knows what he's doing. If you liked just that, he knows how to do a good action movie, okay? So that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Bye.